Hey, can I tell you something? Something kind of heavy, but I promise it's worth sitting through, because by the end of this, you're going to look at least one person in your life a little differently, maybe even yourself. So here's the thing nobody warned you about. There's a moment, and if you've lived long enough, you've probably already had it, where you stop crying at things that used to break you, where someone says something that should hurt, and it just doesn't land, where you watch the news or your friend's relationship fall apart or your own life fall apart a little, and instead of feeling anything, you feel this strange, quiet nothing. And the scary part isn't the pain. The scary part is how good the nothing feels, how safe it feels, how, for the first time in years, you can breathe. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Not sadness, not anxiety, the thing underneath both of them, emotional numbness. And the question that's going to sit with you long after this video ends, is that numbness actually freedom? Or is it just pain wearing a very convincing disguise? Let's start simple. Think about someone you know, maybe it's you, who used to be the most sensitive person in the room, cried at movies, took things personally, felt everything at full volume. And then, somewhere along the way, something shifted. Maybe it was a breakup that gutted them. Maybe it was a job that chewed them up and spat them out. Maybe it was just years of disappointment, stacking up quietly like dishes in a sink nobody wanted to wash. And one day, they woke up and realized they just didn't feel it anymore. Not the good stuff, not the bad stuff, just a flat line. People around them start saying things like, "Wow, you're so calm now. Nothing gets to you anymore." And it sounds like a compliment. It sounds like growth. But here's what almost nobody says out loud. Sometimes that calm isn't peace. Sometimes it's a nervous system that got so tired of being hurt, it just turned the volume down on everything. Not just the bad stuff, everything. There's actual psychology behind this, and it's fascinating once you see it. It's called emotional blunting, or in more clinical circles, affective numbing. And researchers have studied it for decades in people who've been through prolonged stress, grief, trauma, even just chronic burnout. The brain, especially a part called the amygdala, which is basically your emotional alarm system, starts adapting to constant threat or constant disappointment the same way your skin builds a callus after enough friction. It's not weakness. It's not you being broken. It's your mind doing something incredibly logical. It's protecting you from a world that kept hurting you by making you feel less of that world altogether. Think of it like this. Imagine you live next to train tracks. The first week, every train that passes jolts you awake. Your heart races, you can't sleep, it feels unbearable. But by month 3, you don't even hear it anymore. Your brain filtered it out because reacting to every single train was exhausting and useless. Emotional numbness works the same way. If pain kept showing up in your life like that train, again and again and again, at some point your mind just stopped reacting. Not because the pain disappeared, because reacting to it stopped being sustainable. And I think this is where so many of us get confused, because on the surface, it can genuinely feel like peace. No more crying over people who didn't deserve your tears. No more spiraling over things you can't control. No more getting your heart broken by every little disappointment. You start making decisions from a calmer place instead of an emotional one. You stop reacting, start observing. And for a while, that really can be healing. There's a version of emotional distance that's actually healthy. Psychologists sometimes call it healthy detachment, where you're not controlled by every feeling that passes through you, but you're still connected to yourself underneath it. But here's the twist, and this is the part I really want you to sit with. There's a difference between choosing not to be ruled by your emotions and losing access to them completely. One is control, the other is disconnection. And from the outside, they can look almost identical. Someone who's healed and someone who's shut down can both seem calm. Both can seem unbothered. But one of them is at peace with themselves, and the other one has quietly gone missing from their own life. Let me give you a picture of what that looks like, because I think a lot of you are going to recognize it. It's the person who can sit through a funeral and feel nothing, then go home and wonder what's wrong with them. It's the person who gets amazing news, a promotion, a proposal, something they used to dream about, And instead of joy, they feel this weird emptiness, like they're watching their own life from behind glass. It's the person who can't remember the last time they laughed so hard it hurt, or cried so hard they felt lighter afterward. Life just becomes beige, manageable but colorless. And what's really interesting is what happens in relationships when someone's living like this. Because numbness doesn't just block out pain, it blocks out closeness too. You can't selectively shut off sadness and keep joy running at full strength. Emotions don't work like a dimmer switch for just the bad stuff. When you numb one, you numb them all. So people who've gone numb often describe feeling lonely, even when they're surrounded by people who love them. Not because those people did anything wrong, but because something inside them stopped letting love all the way in, the same way it stopped letting pain all the way in. There was research done on people recovering from long-term chronic stress and depression that found something that really stuck with me. Many of them didn't come back into feeling through joy first. They came back through small, uncomfortable jolts, a sad movie that finally made them cry after years of dry eyes, a song that suddenly hit different. And instead of being upset by it, a lot of them described it as relief, like waking up from anesthesia. Painful, yes, but proof they were still in there. And that's really the heart of the question, isn't it? Is the freedom of feeling nothing actually freedom? Or is it just your mind's way of surviving something it never got the chance to properly heal from? I don't think there's one clean answer that fits everyone. And honestly, I'd be lying if I gave you one. For some people, in some seasons of life, numbness is a mercy. It's the only thing that got them through something unbearable. It's not weakness, it's not failure, it's a nervous system doing its job. But the danger is when that temporary shield becomes a permanent home. When "I don't feel anything anymore" stops being a phase you're passing through and starts being the only way you know how to live. So how do you tell the difference? I think it comes down to one honest question you can ask yourself, quietly, without judgment. Do I feel calm or do I feel absent? Calm has texture. Calm still lets you feel a little spark of joy over small things. Good food, a good conversation, sunlight on your face. Absence doesn't. Absence flattens everything equally. And if you're sitting there right now realizing it's been a while since something genuinely moved you, good or bad, that's not something to be ashamed of. That's just information. That's your mind quietly telling you it's been carrying more than it ever got to put down. And if that's you, here's the gentle part. You don't come back to feeling by forcing it. And you definitely don't come back by judging yourself for going numb in the first place. You come back slowly, safely, the same way you'd approach anything your body once used to protect itself. Small moments, small honesty, letting yourself notice, even for 2 seconds, okay, that actually meant something to me, without immediately shutting the door on it again. Because here's the truth I want you to leave with today. Feeling nothing might protect you from pain, but it also quietly protects you from everything good waiting on the other side of that same door. Peace isn't the absence of feeling. Real peace is being able to feel fully and still be okay. That's the version worth working toward, not numbness dressed up as strength. Actual, steady, feeling peace. If this made you pause even a little, if some part of this described someone you know, or maybe even described you, I'd really love for you to stick around this channel. We talk about exactly this kind of stuff here, the quiet psychological things nobody really explains out loud. So if you want more of these honest, real conversations, go ahead and hit subscribe. It genuinely means a lot, and it helps this little corner of the internet keep growing. Thank you for sitting with me through this one. I'll see you in the next video.